Bespoke.
Everyone, I want to thank you for investing in the Shareholders Podcast. It is good to be back. This is our first official Shareholders Podcast. I know you guys have been following on Channel 5 as well, but I'm excited. The thing with Shareholders is I get to interview more. I mean, we talk kind of current events and pop culture in Channel 5, but Shareholders, I get to interview people in their fields, get to kind of know them a little bit better. And I have a great guest today. Very excited to have this brother on. He is jack of all trades, an entrepreneur, marketer. He does so many things in the community. We're going to get in a lot of that, but ultimately as well, a family man and a great brother. Mr. Sean Burney is here today. How you doing, bro?
Doing pretty good. Excited to be here. Excited to be back on your new installment of the Shareholders Podcast.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm ready to get into it, man. Ready to have a good conversation. I love this kind of stuff.
Most definitely. You might have, if you heard that last name, Burney, Ashley, his wife, she's been on 2 iterations of Shareholders Podcast now. Of course, Sean got to be in the new studio with the hookups.
Love it, man. I was taking pictures when I got in right away. I love this.
So he gets the, the extra VIP treatment, but Ashley, we'll get you back on again as well. But so I want to get into it because if you guys don't know, I don't know if I posted, but I was just they had an event, he and Ashley, Your Bowl is Beautiful, which was outstanding, such a well done event. And so, Sean, you're big into marketing. I know as part of it, you've got a business background as well.
Yeah.
I want to first talk about with the changing landscape, and the thing with business is adaptability, which I always say you have to be able to adapt. Just in the last decade, from a marketing standpoint, what differences have you seen in terms of not just the digital components we're using, but especially with this rise of AI?
Absolutely.
Can you speak a little bit on that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of AI, right? But I also understand some of the skepticism. The thing about AI is it's actually been here. It's been here for about 10 years. Yeah. And it's been very prevalent in the business landscape for sure. We apply AI tactics and implement AI technologies in the world of machine learning, predictive analytics, predictive modeling, helping to predict the customer behavior, helping to predict next best offer. And so that has actually been things that we've been working on in the business world and the marketing world for 10 plus years. And so, it's been more and more prevalent now on the consumer side, right? We're seeing a lot more AI stuff for like fun graphics that you can put on social media to see what you look like when you were in high school or, or to create yourself as a cartoon. So it's now more on the consumer side, right? And then there's some scary things with AI too, where you can see where it can like mimic someone's voice and stuff like that. And people are kind of scamming people with that. But, the thing about AI is that it's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. I think the best thing that we can do as a society is embrace it and still understand that there is still the human element that needs to be involved to make AI work for us. Much like the Industrial Revolution or the machine revolution in the early parts of the 1900s, where a lot of people were scared that factories were going to take people's jobs away, right? The assembly lines were going to take people's jobs away. No, they didn't. They actually created more jobs. We actually now have people working in factories, and a lot of times you have people that are doing the human element, doing quality assurance or quality control or doing maintenance and stuff like that for these machines that are running these factories. Well, AI is more on the computer programming side and more for business application. And so you're still going to need the human element to apply AI concepts to see value, right? I mean, at the end of the day, AI can be here to solve business problems and solve value and free us up as humans to be more creative, be more leaders, right? Be more human and customer facing. Let the AI do some of the mundane tasks, right? So that we can do more of the customer facing features. I mean, we see it all the time. Like when you see chat bots and stuff like that, that's all AI technology, man. And so, in my field, as really a marketing technology product manager, we're always looking at AI capabilities to really help drive the needle on the business side so we can close more deals and make more sales. So that's kind of the changing landscape of AI in the marketing world for sure.
Yeah, I know, people kind of always fear the unknown. And, but I used to always say there was a time in this world where if you made horseshoes, you had a great living.
I'm telling you.
And then cars came and kind of you had to adapt and things like that. But so I think because some people don't understand it, and like you say, you kind of hear the sensational parts of it.
Yes,
like, oh man, AI is talking, and people get nervous. But for you, I know it's not something to run away from, but it's more to embrace, which kind of leads me to my next question. Then you've been to business school, you've been in it. Are there are there immutable laws that always will apply in business? Is there like a 2 + 2 is going to always equal 4, or does that even change as well?
Well, it's funny you say that because like if you think about during the pandemic, everybody became a business expert on social media. Everybody started a podcast. No offense, you've been doing this for a while, right? So you've been at it, but people started a podcast and they've been a business expert. But really what they're preaching on social media, what they're regurgitating is basic business concepts that you learn in business school. They're just repurposing it for social media consumption, right? And making it look cool on the gram, right? But at the end of the day, it's the same core business concepts are still going to apply. For me personally, what I subscribe to from what I've learned in my career as a marketing executive or an entrepreneur or just from business school is a few things. One, never letting perfection get in the way of progress. That's a business concept that one should always apply, right? Iterating, right? 1% better today is great, right? And over time, linearly, you're going to be 100% better than what you were a month ago or a year ago. So never letting perfection get in the way of progress is one concept for me. Another one too is understanding, and this is actually kind of a basic marketing principle, is understanding your core position and your core niche, right? Who you are and what is your value proposition, right? You when you learn that in the business world and then apply that to the fact that you can't be everything to everybody, then you'll really see success. Some of the most successful businesses and entrepreneurs were people who just knew who they were and who knew who they weren't, knew what their value proposition was for their service, their podcast, right? What is it that you guys like, the stories you guys like to tell, or what is the brand that you like to create, and what are you trying to sell? If it's a product, if it's sneakers, or if it's sportswear or whatever, understanding that and just honing in on that and being true to that and not trying to deviate. Because also on the flip side, most businesses fail when they just try to be something they're not. So those are the core things for me that are always going to be immutable, never going to change. No matter you throw in AI, you throw in more social media, you throw in more of that, the same concepts are going to be there. And as long as you hone in on them, you can be successful and still try to be cool at the same time.
Yeah. No, I like that. That's well said. Very well said. So now let's talk about now for you in this business world and in the landscape, as a Black man.
Yeah.
Have you even, from, whenever you started till 2023 now, have you felt any kind of pushback from, I'll say, the corporate universe in just presenting yourself as a Black man and trying to climb that corporate ladder? These kind of the same things we've talked about, and not to make excuses or anything like that, but have you felt a little pushback even in your journey?
Well, it's some of the same cliche things that they're still true, right? Well, first of all, I'll say this, is that being a Black executive or being Black in the business world is a superpower. And once you recognize that and own that, you'll see some success, right? Let that be your superpower. Absolutely, you're going to run into some of the stereotypical situations as you're climbing the corporate ladder, or when you're in business as an entrepreneur and you're trying to close more deals, make more partnerships. The fact that if I am not looking of the other race, the more stereotypical person of another race, maybe they went to an Ivy League school, what have you, they're definitely going to get fast tracked for sure. I've seen it in my rise and my climb in the corporate world. 17 plus years in the casino entertainment industry. I've certainly seen people that were, of the stereotypical race, right? Fast tracked up. But at the same time, I've also seen those people get passed up by people that look like me who just own who they are and what they do. And, we see like, hey, they're not built for it, right? They're not built for the long haul, for sure. So also I'll say too, is that it certainly can be a challenge as you climb the corporate ladder as a Black executive, when you get in rooms and you get in boardrooms and you see less and less people that look like you. I've certainly been in those situations. And for some, it could be disheartening, man. It could be disheartening. And, I could see people being turned off by that and say, oh, I'm going to leave this job, or I'm going to change industries, what have you. And that is the challenge, is the fact that, and it's just a fact, man, is that there's less and less Black executives at certain corporations or in certain industries. And if we don't stay there and pave a way for others, they'll continue to be less, right? And so it's knowing your superpower, owning the table, owning the room, knowing that you deserve a seat at the table is empowering for yourself and for others. I'm not gonna lie, I've been in plenty of boardrooms with CEOs and CMOs, and I'm the 20 plus, senior level executives, senior vice presidents, what have you. I'm the only person of color in that room.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've quickly can be like a little intimidated, a little challenged. Like, no, man, I'm here. I'm invited here. I'm at this table. I'm supposed to be at the table. I'm gonna own this room.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna own my superpower and then pave the way, right? And then you know, feel empowered to help others get there for sure, man.
That's gonna lead me to my next thing, but I want to really quickly just highlight what you said because once we can get to a point where, you know, because I think so many have that same story where I was the only minority in the room.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the goal is to get it to where half of the room was us, you know, or some instances the majority. But unfortunately, in a lot of these higher level executive rooms, you know, where decisions get made, there's not a lot of minority representation. But it's why it's so important what you're doing and others. And that's kind of why I enjoy this show, is just to let people know, like, we are out here. And like you said, I like what you said, I'm here, you know, feel comfortable in the space.
Yeah, man, let it be your superpower. And it's, you know, when you say that we need to be in those boardrooms and those, you know, those decision-making circles, we talk about AI. And I think that more people of color, more African-Americans, Black folks need to get involved in the AI revolution, need to get involved in technology, you know, the business of technology, the technology side of the business world, what have you. Because if we think about the people that are programming these machine learning platforms that are making these decisions for logic and reasoning within AI, we need people to be of color to be able to program cultural biases or cultural, you know, implicit biases where in a sense that if that AI platform doesn't understand how African-American culture interacts, then you'll see that in the AI world where now you say, okay, well, you know, this computer program is being a little racist or what have you. So, and it's the same thing, like, goes back to the basic situations. If you think about a business is running a marketing campaign and there's no one of color in that room making a decision, and they run an ad, and that ad's like, ooh, you know, someone in blackface. You guys put someone in blackface in that. You know what I'm saying? So we need to be in these rooms, man. And so we just need to be in these rooms, and we also try not to be discouraged, use it as a superpower. That's what I've learned. You know, that's what I'm trying to own as I've, you know, and I'm still learning, you know what I'm saying? I'm not where I want to be, but it's certainly where I want to try to be, at least on the business side of things, for sure.
And I love that. I love that. So inversely, I want to ask you then, now, being minorities and Black men as we are, the things that I've seen you and your wife do, you guys are out in the community, you're putting your face on it. I mean, amazing things, but there can be that other side of it. Have you felt pressure, you know, the other way, to where Black people are like, yeah, Sean, you make it and then put me on, brother. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I'm saying? Or you tell your wife, you did it, so help me to do what you know what I mean? Do you feel kind of that pressure, like, I got to do this and then bring people with me, you know, which sometimes other races don't feel that. Do you feel that?
Man. No, I think it's, you know, it's a tribe, right? In terms of just being an African-American. When I talk about owning, you know, it's a superpower of being a Black executive. Once you recognize that and own that, you really, really feel empowered to use that superpower to reach back or reach behind to help others and to pave a way. It makes you feel good. Yeah. And it doesn't become pressure, right? It becomes more of no, this is actually part of my next, you know, path, or my next journey is to really start empowering others and help other people get to where I am or where I want to be. You know, I think that, you're going to run into a situation, yo, man, help hook a brother up, blah, blah, blah. Well, I'd rather, you know, I could show you better. I could tell you, right? You know, I can hook you up, but I want to teach you, right? So you can be better than me. And so you can learn. And so I don't, you know, I love my people, man. You know, it's cliche. And I think you could probably say the same thing. Like, put me in any room, you know, put me in any room, put me in a hood, you know, put me in any hood in the country. You know, I'll know what to do, what not to do, or put me in any boardroom, you know, and I want to conform, right? And do what I got to do to help myself, help my community, and help others. And I want to teach others to do that. You know, I don't have all the answers at all, man. But at the same time, I think that more of us kind of adopt that mentality of, you know, it's not really pressure to hook a brother up, but it's more of, let's teach our communities that we all can be better than the generations before us and the generations before them. And, you know, I'm trying to pass it down with my son and my daughter and all that good stuff too. So it's a superpower, man, to be able to help others. And I love that for sure.
I like that. You keep using that word superpower. I love that. So one more question, then we'll take a break and come back.
Yeah.
But I want to ask then, so, and I like asking people this question a lot because, you're doing a lot. Your wife's doing a lot. You guys are raising a family as well.
Right.
And you wear a lot of hats. The question, the quote unquote couples goals question is,
man.
How do you balance all of that? Like you said, your son's 18.
Yep.
He's in college now.
Yep.
Your daughter,
she's 10.
She's 10.
Yeah,
so,
Gigi. Yeah.
So I like with all that and every time I see you guys, y'all doing something. Like how do you balance this and keep it together and still have time for each other? All of that.
Man, first of all, we don't have all the answers. One thing about Ashley and I, we met in high school, and we really cultivated our relationship in college. We had our son when we were in college, and we're young, man. We're old and young. I just turned 40 this year. Ashley's 38, and but we really look at it like it's all about integrating. First of all, it's work-life balance, but at the same time, it's integrating what we do for a living with our family life and our family activities. You mentioned seeing us around, what have you. Like people who follow us on social media, they see that our son played grassroots basketball, travel basketball. He's off in college now playing college basketball. Our daughter, she does a lot. She's very creative. Right now, she's in dance. She's actually has a recital tonight, and that's why Ashley couldn't come today because she wasn't going to stop by and hang out with us. But our daughter has a recital. She had to run around and drop her off at places. But really what we would do is, like, for example, if our son was traveling the country for basketball tournaments, we would go with him. And what we would do is we would enjoy him at his activity. And then after that, we would enjoy family time, and we would just that would be our vacation. We're going to North Carolina for a basketball tournament. Let's watch the games. Let's have fun. After the game, let's go do some family stuff. We're going to California for a basketball tournament. When that tournament is over, Elijah, you guys won, you guys lost, this is how you played. It's over. Let's hit the beach, right? My daughter, she had a dance intensive this past summer in New York City, and we were there with her doing the intensives and doing all the things, learning from the different teachers. They went to Alvin Ailey and all that great stuff. When that was over, we hit town, we saw the city. So it's balancing work-life balance for sure. It's also really just, work hard, play hard. Is really what we do. Work hard, play hard. And just leaning on the fact that Ashley and I, we've known each other for so long. We're really best friends. And so it's all, creating and growing a family has been a goal of ours. And incorporating, family time with fun time, with work time, kind of meshing it together is also one of our goals as a family. And so it's just fun, like really. And but we don't have all the answers. You know what I'm saying? Like, some days we're exhausted, man. Some weeks we're exhausted. Some days I'm coming home from work and Ashley's like, hey, Sean, I want to talk to you about this strategy I have for the Heart to Heart platform or the Your Bold is Beautiful Women's Empowerment Summit. I'm like, okay, you got to give me an hour or two to decompress. And then I can give you some stuff. Or sometimes what we would do is we would actually, separation is important. Separating work from fun, from family. And so sometimes we say, you know what, Ashley, Monday through Friday, we're not going to have a conversation about the Women's Empowerment Summit that we're planning this year. We're going to meet on Saturday. We're going to go to a breakfast meeting, you and I, and we're going to have a strategy session for an hour and a half. And then we're going to be done with that, right? Separating things out. And the same goes for our children's activities, right? It's, this week has been pretty hectic with my daughter and her recital. We've been doing a lot of, she's been having a lot of late nights with all call rehearsals, and we're just balancing it. Sometimes it's just using our calendar, and it's like, all right, I look on the calendar. Oh, I'm supposed to pick Gigi up from dance class today. I'm getting off of work at 6 o'clock. I'm going to go pick her up, right? Or, today I got this podcast. Ashley's handling things, what I mean? So it's separating, but also integrating and incorporating, and just work hard, play hard.
That's outstanding, man. One more thing. I got quick time.
Yeah.
But here's the thing too, if you can, because you said you guys met in high school.
We did, yeah.
Okay, so because, now, man, I'm single, and you hear people talk, and everybody's got to be ready-made, and I don't think you guys knew in high school.
Nope.
That maybe you had a thought, but you don't know back then that where you are now, that journey.
Yeah.
So can you just quickly tell, like, I think everybody's so like, they got to be ready-made, and I need this and this and this, but in formulating what you guys have done, that journey, if you could just really quick kind of talk about the ups and downs.
Yeah, no, Ashley and I, we love to talk about our journey, and the first thing we tell people too is like, we're not the perfect couple, but the best thing that we've done in our relationship is we've reinvented ourselves continuously.
Nice.
You know, one of the things we say a lot about each other, I'll say this for me, like, I'm not the man I am now when she met me. When she met me, I was a boy. I was 18 years old.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not the same person. If I was the same person now at 40 as it was when Ashley met me at 18, something will be wrong. First of all, we wouldn't even be together right now. You know what I'm saying? That 18 years old, young boy, right? And you know, and she was 16, 17. And so we were very much, you know, young couple, young love, what have you. And so throughout our relationship, we took it as a challenge to reinvent ourselves, continuously reinventing ourselves, continuously, you know, changing who we are for the betterment of the unit, for the couple, right? If there's things about me that I just need to work on, you know, she'll tell me straight up. Yeah. If there's things about her she need to work on, I'll tell her straight up. And, you know, fighting fair, giving each other grace, and continuously learning that, for sure, man. You know, but it's been fun. It's been a fun ride, for sure. And we, to your point, right, when we first met in high school, you know, we had no idea that we would be together this long, and we would have kids, and we would, you know, try to create a legacy and create businesses together, and just try to have an impact on the community together. We never had that plan initially, but we knew that we both had something special in each other. We both came from the same humble beginnings. Yeah. We both came from a situation where we had single parent moms working and grinding it out. You know, I have younger sisters. She has younger sisters. I have a brother. Her brother's older than her. My brother's 3 years younger than me. But, you know, same dynamic for the most part in terms of parents and siblings. And so we had a lot in common foundationally, which was pretty cool for us to use that as a foundation, to become friends first, and then understand too that, listen, man, like, throughout this relationship, we always challenge each other too. Like, you know, and that's been the fun of it, is just reinventing ourselves. And, you know, I'm not the same person I was 18. I'm not the same person I was 5 years ago. Right. Same. She can say the same too. And so that's been the joy of it too, is, you know, just seeing each other grow and enjoying that. And then looking back, right? Yeah. Honestly, it feels like, you know, before we really started getting serious, you know, we had other people that we've dated and all that good stuff. But within our own relationship and the amount of time we've known each other, it's been fun looking back and looking at our experiences. It's like, man, it's almost like we've dated different people within each other, right? Yeah. Like, you were a different person at that point in time. I was a different person. Now you're different here. And so it's been fun too, man. Nice. And I think that's just a key to longevity of a relationship, is just giving each other grace, giving each other permission to change, and understanding that, you know, you have to grow with each other. And we love talking about this stuff too. We've been talking about, like, maybe we should share our relationship journey from a perspective of not saying, first of all, we are not marriage counselors or relationship experts. What we are is experts on what we've experienced, and, you know, maybe talking about that can help people who are either trying to grow their relationship, or maybe they're single and they're trying to meet someone and they're trying to figure out, you know, how can I find that special someone? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so we're, you know, stay tuned. I'll just say that.
Most definitely. That's great. I love how you said permission to change. I love that. That's a great phrase. Guys, we're going to take a quick break. I got a couple more questions for Sean. You know, busy man. I got to get him in, get him out. But we'll be right back on Shareholders Podcast.
Hold on. This ain't the level that I'm supposed to be on. Wait, hold on. There's even his.
Guys, we're back. Shareholders Podcast. Man, this is great. This is why I love doing it, because you just be able to talk and we can hit so many things. But we're with Mr. Sean Burney, and we're just hitting a little bit of everything, but hopefully you guys can glean some stuff as well. So I want to say one more thing. We've been talking about family, and you said earlier, you know, your son's in college now. Yeah. You got your daughter's 10, and she's doing her thing. Regardless of where they want to go in life and things that they want to do, and maybe they want to do what you guys are doing, or they want to do something else, what would you kind of, you know, again, when they come to you for advice, you know what I mean, and they ask you, what are a couple things you would tell your children for any career path that in your experience you've seen and learned that you can maybe guide them for whatever they want to do?
I think, you know, whatever you're passionate about, really, really hone in on that and just do it. You know, I've told my kids, like my son, he's been playing basketball since he was, you know, 5 years old. He's playing college basketball. He has a lot of other interests too. And I've told him, like, you know, just lean in on those, right? You know, he says, okay, well, I was like, well, what do you want to be when you grow up, right? And he says, well, I'd love to play basketball professionally, but I really enjoy business and I enjoy what you do on the marketing side of business. He took a lot of at Centennial. He went to Centennial High School. They actually have a business track that you can actually focus on as you're going through your curriculum. He took a lot of business classes, a lot of marketing classes. He got like a certificate when he graduated. So it was pretty cool. So he's like, yeah, man, I'd love to really just get into the business world and marketing world, be an entrepreneur. And I'm like, whatever you're passionate about, right? I don't care if it was basket weaving, if it was being a gardener. Like if you're passionate about it in life, then you'll enjoy it and you'll be successful at it. Whatever success means to you. As I've learned through life, that's what's most important, man. Yeah. A lot of people when they're on their deathbeds, there's a couple of books that talk about this. A lot of people when they talk about what's your regret in life, well, not pursuing my passion. I went to law school and I made a lot of money, but I was really passionate about children, or I was really passionate about art and I wanted to be an artist. Some people say stuff like that, or like, hey, I always wanted to go to law school, but I never took a chance on that. So for my kids, that's that, man. Just telling them, just have integrity, man, and just be passionate about whatever it is you're passionate about and pursue that. My daughter, she's very artistic. She's very creative. She's actually pretty good visually as a visual artist. And she takes after me a little bit of that. I was into a lot of that stuff when I was younger, and she loves to, dance as well. She loves just a lot of the theatrical arts, and that's pretty cool for me to see her do that because I see she's passionate about that. And I certainly would be one of those parents to tell her, like, listen, if you want to go to art school, go to art school. Like, I'm not going to say like, oh, you have to find this job that makes a lot of money. And so really that's just for me is just seeing my kids being passionate about whatever it is that they enjoy. And I would always just tell them, like, use that as your why and pursue that, whatever it is. Yeah, for sure.
That's outstanding. And I've said that to young people as well, like 15, 16, 17, 18, you don't have to know what you want to do. But if you do have something or proclivity towards something, go hard on it,
absolutely.
As hard as you can. So that kind of takes me into the next part of this then. So a lot of people that I have on these shows, I ask them about mentorship.
Yeah.
And whether it be, a counselor, a pastor, or you have a life coach, whatever you work with. What is your thoughts on that and how it applies to you in terms of being mentored and then mentoring others?
Yeah, I mean, for me growing up, a lot of my mentors I looked up from afar. I didn't really have a strong relationship with my father until I was about 28 years old, when he and I really met and really got kind of close. And so I looked at a lot of people from afar as a mentor. And it's okay to have a mentor, someone that, they actually, you have never really met them, but you really like to emulate what they do. But I've also would have loved when I was younger to be exposed more in person to a lot of people that I could actually touch and feel and be a mentor. And I didn't get a chance to have a lot of that growing up. And so for me, mentorship has become a passion of mine. And a lot of it, I give credit to Ashley, my wife, she's very passionate about mentorship. Yeah. And I didn't even realize, and again, this is about learning from each other as a couple. Like I didn't even realize how passionate I was as a mentor until I seen her passion. Yeah. And then I kind of was able to kind of go back into my childhood and going back into the younger me and realize like, oh man, like actually, let me be what I wanted. And so mentorship's very important for me. First and foremost, I wanted to be a mentor to my kids, right? And I wanted to be a model for them, and I still try to do that. But for mentorship, I mean, and that's, again, giving credit to my wife, Ashley, with the Heart to Heart platform that, she's has the vision for and helping out. And I've been helping out with that. We created a youth empowerment program under the Heart to Heart platform, which is a mentorship program. That's what it is a mentorship program. And we serve kids from 5th grade through high school. And really we actually want to serve young adults, college age kids too. And it's really rooted in just bringing people to talk to these kids, right? Bringing professionals, bringing creatives, and then inviting people that want to be mentors to be a part of our program. And, we've served high schools. We've served Cheyenne High School. She's serving Rundle Elementary School right now. She's been serving there for about 3-4 years. We actually have a holiday give back event, the second installment of that we're doing. Nice. We want to plan a teen summit. We want to do that all under the Heart to Heart Youth Empowerment Program, which is a mentorship activation under the Heart to Heart platform. So mentorship is really a passion of mine. And there's a lot of programs out there. There's the My Brother's Keeper, and just many other mentorship programs out there that people can get involved with. And I advocate for all those. For me, it could be overwhelming, right? There's so many mentors, like, man, should I do this? Should I do that? Should I be part of that? Which is one of the reasons why Ashley and I were like, let's just create our own program. And that's fine, right? Let's create our own program. Maybe let's collaborate with some of these other platforms too. And creating our own program really allows us to kind of have a little bit of creative control on the activations we want to do. And then kind of tap into our own passions with how we want to mentor the youth, and then just learn, right? And then, and we volunteer from a lot of other organizations too. But, creating our own program has really allowed us to say, okay, this is where we're going to kind of have a home base for mentorship for sure.
Yeah. Awesome, man. That's so well said. And I've seen you guys do it. He's not just saying it. I've seen it, and so many times where they just put things out there, and like you say, it doesn't even have to be close and I gotta sit down with a person. It can be from afar, just from somebody that's doing something that you're interested in, and you can glean some things just from them like that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've seen in the business world, a lot of executives that I've worked with, my own boss, she's a female, one of the top female senior vice presidents in our company, Caesars Entertainment. And, she's a mentor to me. I've learned a lot from her. And, even as an African-American man, Black man, navigating the corporate ladder, I've seen her as a woman, as a white woman, navigate and being in spaces where, she's the minority, right? In terms of female, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and then I've had a couple of other folks in the business world that were mentors that were really just, people that just shot it to me straight about what I needed to do, unfiltered, to stand out, right? Being a minority or being someone, I'm very introverted, to be honest with you. Sitting here talking like this is not normal, Sean. I'm very introverted. I like to just kind of play the background and just kind of do my work, put my head down, and and so being told like, no, man, it's actually okay to kind of, you can still be that introvert, but shine with what and what you're passionate about, and you'll feel comfortable in that as you come out of a shell. And so that's been pretty cool. And, I've learned that actually from my wife. Actually, she's a mentor to me, to be honest with you. We say we're mentors for each other. And so it's been pretty cool. And then, again, like I just said, man, like I really advise people to look at mentorship as not just someone you can touch and feel, but really look outside, online, or just outside of your own circle, and just find people that you really admire and emulate. And they may not even ever know, but it'll really fuel you for sure.
That's that, and the thing is, even for you, you're just kind of like, I'm doing my thing, and just, but you don't even know how many people are just kind of what I go to the events because it's great what you guys do, but I watch you all as well. And I'm you guys are mentoring me because I love, it's so well done, the things you guys do it on such a level, and it's teaching me some things. So, thanks, it goes, that pay it forward thing. It just keeps going forward with it. But, so, I mean, let me ask you then, we're winding up, but all the things that you're doing, and not that, and if you got a 5-year plan, that's cool. But sometimes I don't ever want to just make it so just it's 5 years, nothing. But what's the next step for you with all that you got going on, man? Like, what are maybe the next goal or the next thing you want to achieve for your career, or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, my background, I came out to Vegas at 18 years old by myself to go to UNLV to study business and to be an entrepreneur. And I'm really passionate about Vegas. I love the city. I love the trajectory of Vegas. I've been working for Caesars Entertainment specifically for about 16 years, climbing that corporate ladder. I'm a marketing director now. I'm actually my title director of VIP Marketing Innovation. And in terms of that area of my career trajectory, in the next 5 years, I'd love to be like a senior vice president or president on the Strip, one of our properties, in the capacity of, marketing strategy, marketing product planning, and things like that. And so I'm taking steps in that area for sure to do that, because I love the trajectory of Vegas. I love the trajectory of the casino, entertainment, and hospitality industry that I've been in for about 16 plus years. And so again, 5-year plan, vice president, senior vice president, cross my fingers. I'd love to be in that space. But on the entrepreneurial side, man, it's continuing to, first of all, I love good branding and good design, good product strategy, good marketing strategy. I love sports marketing. And I love, just really seeing just good business being done. And so when I enjoy that, And I also really love community and community collaboration. And so just on an entrepreneurial side, next 5 years, I have a marketing consulting firm that I do on the side as kind of a passion project, and really just helping small businesses or organizations, just giving them just marketing strategy, marketing consulting, ideation, stuff like that. And so continuing to grow that with my son off in college now, and he's actually studying business. You know, he and I have been bouncing some ideas off each other on some things that we want to do. Yeah. It's some things that I actually want to do. Some going back almost close to back when I was in college. You know, we want to start an e-commerce platform. Nice. And a brand and a pop-up shop that kind of centers around vintage merchandise and collectibles and streetwear and sneakers. It's something that I've always really wanted to do, and my son has really energized me because it's kind of cool to see him pick up that passion too. And we're like, you know, now that he's off in college, you know, and he's actually really understanding some of the concepts of business, I'm like, let's just do this together, dude. It'll be pretty fun. Allow me to kind of stretch my wings creatively and entrepreneurially and impart some strategy for him too. So again, we're talking about 5-year plan. I love to do that too. And then helping my wife, man, with her vision for the Heart to Heart platform. Yes. And the Your Bold is Beautiful lifestyle brand. One of the things we're actually going to be looking to do in the next year, this coming year, is we're going to launch an apparel brand under the Your Bold is Beautiful lifestyle brand. So it's actually already launched. It's already there. We've got a couple of pieces out, but we're really going to activate on it more, create kind of a good collection of some merch that we're going to push out. And it's going to just be a good in tandem with the event series, the Your Bold is Beautiful event series, and the apparel brand. And I mean, Your Bold is Beautiful is a lifestyle brand event series. And so we're going to see it at all kind of launch this year. Ashley's got some pretty cool visions too. And so she's the visionary for the Heart to Heart platform, which is the umbrella for, you know, the women's empowerment platform and community relations platform. Your Bold is Beautiful is under that. And so she's the visionary for that. And I'm the guy kind of in the background helping with some of the operational things and the marketing strategy. But I mean, I can't do it without her. I wouldn't do it without her. And so you'll see that too. And so those are kind of the pillars, man, of the next 5 years to maybe even next year that you're going to see us work on, and just kind of staying out in the community, really. When I talk about community too, in addition to mentorship with the youth empowerment program, I really want to start giving back more to UNLV, tapping back more into UNLV. There's a couple of programs that I really want to get involved with that I'm going to try to really push on to. I haven't had a chance to really tap back in with my alma mater like I wanted to with the business college and all that stuff. And so I'm going to start doing more of that. I've been challenging myself to try to do more of that too, man. Yeah. Man, that's outstanding. And I love, first of all, branding, marketing. There are some people in this room, in the crew, that I stress that too as well. But man, it's great with your son, because let me tell you, talking with younger people, like my brother is, oh my God, he's 16 or 17 years younger than me. Okay. He was like the surprise baby. But bouncing things off of him from his perspective is invaluable for me, because he's younger, and he's got a perspective. So you and your son, I'm sure it's the same thing, Yeah, man, it's fun. It's fun to hear him just talk about some stuff, and I'm like, oh wait, you want to do that? Oh yeah, man, let's do this. And so sometimes I have to slow myself down because I have to realize, well, he's still picking up some stuff, but it's all about the idea. I tell him, like, listen, tell me all your ideas, man, and I'll help you activate on them and just help you learn, And I think it keeps me young. Yeah. Because to be honest with you, being, when I was in college or when I was younger in my 20s, I had a lot of cool business ideas that I wanted to do, but sometimes you're just afraid to step out on faith. Yeah. Well, come on. Yeah, you're afraid to step out on faith, or you're thinking, I don't know it all. I don't think I have it all figured out. But as I've learned and grown and failed, I realized you don't have to learn it all. And and you were told that way back when you're like, no, just try this. When you look at people who are successful in business, we look at some of our, favorite, entertainers, right? Or athletes, rappers, look at the big, the big, just what Jay-Z's created, right? With his just big conglomerate right now. And, he stepped down and just did it, man. And so when I look now and I look at the young people, the best thing I do as mentor is like, just do it, man. Just step out and do it. You ain't got to have all the answers. You don't got to know everything. I'm a big advocate for higher education. I'm a big advocate for kids going off to college. Mm-hmm. One thing that college taught me, because I could talk about, I went to college, I went to business school, but I just have an undergrad. I just went to undergrad. I just got a bachelor's degree. I wanted to go get my master's. I want to go to MBA. It's still a goal of mine, but it's not like the end all for me.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't ever go back and get an MBA, I feel like I got an MBA from the streets. You know, I got an MBA from just grinding it out in corporate America, man. But I will tell younger people, and it's what college taught me, is college teaches you discipline. It teaches you discipline. It teaches you how to meet a deadline. Yeah. It teaches you how to get up and go to class. It teaches you how to, just write a paper or the organizational structure of a project. If anything, you're going to learn that in college, right? You're going to learn some discipline. And then you're going to be able to apply that to life. You know, I like you, man. I may not know anything else, but I sure know how to make a deadline. I can make a deadline because I had to make plenty of deadlines when I was in college. So I tell young people, if you don't got to figure it out at 18 or 19 or 21, it's okay to go off to college and, at least as you're trying to figure it out, you're giving yourself some grace and some time and some discipline to learn some concepts, even if you're just majoring in sociology, no offense, sociology, just a great career path. Yeah. Or basket weaving, the funny thing, or general studies, right? Even if you're just majoring in general studies, that's fine, man. That's fine. You can be majoring in general studies, but you still want to be an entrepreneur and a businessman.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool, man, because that discipline you're going to learn from general studies, you're going to be able to apply it to the business world. Trust me on that. Yeah. So, yeah, man. I mean, I think that's kind of where my mind is at nowadays for sure, man.
Awesome, man. So I've had a great time with Sean. And the trademark question, of course, for this show is, have you read any good books lately? Anything that you can...
Yeah. You send me that question. It's cool because I actually keep a note in my phone of books. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm actually going to grab my phone real quick too, because there's a couple of books that I've read and a couple of books I want to read for sure. But for me, books. So I'm actually trying to finish a book. It's called Shoe Dog. And it's actually,
man, Phil Knight. Oh my goodness.
Phil Knight. Yeah, I love, when we talk, again, man, I could talk about business, branding, marketing all day. That just gets me excited. My favorite brand is Nike, what I'm saying? And the story, of Phil Knight and how they created that brand. And it's really a model for me for just in business, right? So Shoe Dog by Phil Knight is one. I'm also I pick it up all the time. It's a book. It's called Uncommon Life by Tony Dungy.
Okay.
It's like daily devotionals. And like every day is a day of reading, and it has a couple of verses from the Bible, and then Tony Dungy gives his perspective on it. Mm-hmm. And it's just every day through the year, and you can just pick it up any day of the year, and you can just reread it. It really just helps you get a good foundation, especially as a Black man, and just what we got to deal with in the world. And so Uncommon Life, I always read that book. And then there's a couple other books, man, that I'm really tapping into right now. Actually, there's a book called Trailblazer, The Power of Business as the Greatest Platform for Change. And it's actually by Mark Benioff. He's the founder and co-CEO of Salesforce. Salesforce.com. And so I love the Salesforce platform. I'm an administrator and consultant on that in my day job. And so I love that book. I'm about halfway through that book. There's another book that I want to read. It's by a gentleman named Jason Maiden. He's a designer and an entrepreneur. He's actually worked with Nike, and I think he's worked with the brand, the Fear of God brand. Mm-hmm. He's got a book called The Speed of Grace. Oh, okay. And what he talks about is really just kind of overcoming some child traumas and things like that as he learning how to do that going through his life in business and design and an entrepreneur. So that's a book that I want to read. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, man. And I've got a bunch of others in this note. So I was like, he talks about books. I mean, it's hard to try to find time to read, to be honest.
It is. Now I'm really getting it. I wasn't before, but audiobooks are really, I'm getting into those as well.
Yeah, I need to learn the audio thing. I feel like I love to grab the book and feel the paper. But
it's like with the time constraints.
I think I just need to get into the audio.
That Shoe Dog book really changed some things for me. Just the journey was unbelievable what he went through. But guys, this is a show. So glad to get back into this, and there will be more coming with shareholders. Oh, real quick, I'm sorry. Yeah. Where can people find you? Just a couple of.
Yeah, man. So I'm on social media for sure, man. You can find me on Instagram. It's I am real Sean B. Okay. Yeah. On Instagram, Facebook, Sean Burney. You can just request me, add me, I'll add you back. And on Twitter, it's just real Sean B. Mm-hmm. So those are my personal platforms. And then I also have an Instagram account for my marketing consulting agency called SB Marketing, or it's just SB MKTG. Mm-hmm. Search that. And then go to, for our Heart to Heart platform, go to heartheartspeaks.com. Yeah. Heartheartspeaks.com is the hub. heartheartspeaks.com really is the home base for everything that Ashley really is the visionary of, and I'm involved with, from our youth empowerment program to the Your Bold is Beautiful event series. On heartheartspeaks.com, we also have there's an online store there, which a lot of cool merch and things like that people can buy. So if you go to heartheartspeaks.com, that'll really branch you out to the different social media platforms where you can find us too.
Guys, check them out. And I'm not just saying that. If you follow me a little bit, you've seen Ashley on the show before as well. Hit them up. They will talk to you. They will get back to you. They will interact with you. If you got questions, marketing, this is what he does.
Yes.
Among other things as well. They're a great resource. That's why we're doing this show. So please check us out again. We got more coming. This is on the Mighty Sharp Network, of course, through Maxon Media. This is the Shareholders Podcast. I'm Monty, and I appreciate the time, guys. Please, always, be blessed. Stay sharp.
Bespoke. Hold on, this ain't the level that I'm supposed to be on. Wait, hold on. There's even heads that I gotta step on, wait.